What's up guys, Andrew here on my channel GearedInc, where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And on my channel, that's PC tech, games, and gear. And today we're talking about gaming, specifically the future of gaming, and whether the trends of free games, which kind of dominate the market now, are what we're going to see going into the future, which I believe they are. Now, when we talk about the history of gaming, understand something. I'm a long-time gamer, all the way from Duck Hunt to The Witcher. And so when we're talking about this, the first thing we have to address is how free games make their money, and that is basically through monetization or microtransactions. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do this, but understand something. I don't believe that you have to throw a bunch of money into a video game to make it good. There are certain series, such as The Witcher and the Fallout series, just off the top of my head, that definitely benefited from the money that went into them to create a rich world that we got to participate in, where really, without the budget, they probably wouldn't have been able to push out the quality products that they did. And then there are other games that spent all kinds of money, and while maybe initially exciting or showing promise, the product definitely didn't meet the standards of the investment. So I'm not saying we have to spend a lot of money, but free games make their money through microtransactions more often than not, and obviously there's a right and wrong way to do that. The wrong version that all of us can agree to, I'm pretty sure, was with Star Wars Battlefront 2, where you were fundamentally changing the gameplay by denying certain heroes behind basically a paywall. And the backlash, obviously, within the community created a, not necessarily a fix, but a better situation than it was before. And then you have games like Path of Exile, which microtransactions, I would argue, are done right. Where there's no fundamental change to the gameplay, you can play the entire game without any of them. They're more for quality of life things like maybe better storage, definitely cosmetics, and if you want to spend your money on those type of things, totally makes sense to me. So that is what we have to make sure going forward into the future, that microtransactions enforce. Things that don't affect gameplay but maybe that we want, and things that affect gameplay that we don't. Now the second thing we have to talk about is streaming, but let me back up a second here. If you guys haven't, unless you've had your head under a rock for the last 3 days, you know, big news was that Ninja, the Fortnite streamer, who is probably now the biggest streamer on Twitch, was streamed a game with Drake, Juju Smith, and Scott Travis all together. Huge celebrities in their own right, but it's a fundamental kind of piece of news, because gaming is now pop culture. It's no longer the times of, you know, the nerd in their closet or in their basement, you know, the social outcast remembering every cheat code and, you know, every combo combination. That's long past. Gaming is now a part of mainstream culture. And along with that comes kind of an eye on the industry as a whole. One of the things that's very interesting is a guy like Ninja can essentially pull in now $600,000 a month. And where there's money, there's big business. And that brings me to kind of the third point, and that is bar of entry. So when we're talking about these games, something that it's kind of important to understand is that right now on Twitch, the top 7 games, 4 of which are free, are all games that I would argue are not graphically intensive. And that is something that's extremely important. Now, for me being a hardcore gamer, I would never play a shooter on a phone. But that might change in a year or two depending on how that all develops. As phones become more powerful, and definitely as the interface and controls become more user-friendly, it might be something that becomes much more standard. There are products already with companies like Razer that are essentially trying to create hybrids of both PC and phone gaming, and we'll have to see where all that goes. But in terms of free games becoming the standard, guys, I do believe that it will continue to dominate the market. Not the least of all that they're free, but because the more people that are participating in the, you know, in gaming in general, I will always support. And it's one of those things that I'm excited personally to see what we have going into the future. So anyway guys, if you liked this video, leave me a big thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and leave me a thumbs down. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers, guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Thanks to everyone who uses my Amazon affiliate link. Make sure that if you're buying anything through Amazon and you want to support me, you can use my link down below. I get a small kickback. If you haven't already, guys, join the APU giveaway for the Ryzen 2400G. That is down in the description below. 7,500 subscribers by 2018, guys. We're doing another giveaway. I can't wait to continue to share my passion with every one of you, but get subscribed and make sure you leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer you back. We hope to see you next time here on GearedInc.